Hey guys, if you're watching this, you're likely thinking about becoming a mortgage loan officer. I think that's a great career choice. And if you don't know who I am, my name is Zevi. I actually own a mortgage business in Los Angeles. I've been doing this well over 10 years. I have been recognized as a top producing loan officer by Scotsman Guide. And I'm also the founder and creator of the part-time residential and commercial lender academies, both of which are available for you via link in the description of this video, all right? And now let's talk about you for a moment. What exactly is this job title? Becoming a loan officer, what exactly are you supposed to do? What does it entail? Well, you're basically the middleman between the lender and the borrower. Your job is to guide the borrower and help them understand what products are gonna fit their needs the best. Now, working at a bank, you typically only have access to products that service borrowers with tax returns and W-2s most of the time. Working as a broker, you actually have an extended reach and the ability to service people that also are typically self-employed and write off their income, and therefore they need alternative programs to be able to help them qualify for a loan. And you can document their income in a variety of different ways, such as profit and loss, bank statements, and so forth. The more you are versed, the more likely you are to be able to earn a commission. The more you understand how these programs work and what is available, the more people that you can help. And in turn, of course, make more money. A lot of it will be predetermined on where you work and what's available for your borrowers. There is a certain skill set that you're constantly gonna need to develop. As you learn about these programs and these products that are available, you're gonna have to understand how you could size up your borrower accordingly. And when you can do that very well, you will become an amazing tool to a lot of different referral partners who will be sending you business. That is the premise of the actual job. Now, in terms of how do I actually become a loan officer? Well, you do have to pass 20 hours worth of pre-licensing. And there is a company that I enjoy using. They're not sponsoring this video. They're not paying me to say this, but they're called Mortgage Educators. And what I'll do is I'll provide a link in the description of this video that you can access their platforms if you need to complete your 20 hours of pre-licensing. Once that part has been completed, you can actually apply to NMLS to take the national exam. And when you pass it, there's a few things that you're gonna need to complete through NMLS. You're gonna need to complete a background check, fingerprinting, and you will need to pay the NMLS fee annually, which is approximately $330 here in California. Of course, that will determine on which state you're originating loans in. Now, ultimately, the big question is, Zevi, how do I actually get business as a mortgage loan officer? Well, here's the thing. Getting business has a lot to do with the relationships that you build with your referral partners. And I gotta tell you that the more you invest in that, the more successful you will be in the space. Now, there are other ways to get leads. You could buy leads from the credit bureaus. The challenge with that is those leads are very, very poor. And as a matter of fact, so many people buy them that I've had borrowers tell me that as many as 80 to 100 people legitimately have called them to try to get their loan. And it's something called a trigger lead, and they're trying to get rid of it, but it's still in effect as of the time that I'm doing this video, which is December of 2025, which basically means that when you run your borrower's credit, unless they opt out, then they will automatically become a trigger lead. And when that happens, their information will be sold to a third party for approximately $1. And likely 80 to 100 people are gonna call them to try to earn or steal your business. Pretty crazy, right? So that's not the type of business that we want to go after. Now, it does take time to establish a brand. And the reason I'm telling you that is because, as an example, you're currently watching me on YouTube and you and I are building rapport. And so to be able to do this is something that takes a little bit of time, but you could definitely establish yourself as an authority in the space once you get a better grip on the programs that are available, how to size them up, how to talk to the borrower, you know, that whole thing, the actual skill that is needed. And if you need help with that, check out the link in the description to the Part-Time Residential Lender Academy. I think it would drastically help you out. It's a very massive course available for somebody who is both getting started and is already on the journey of being a loan officer. It's something that I wish I had access to when I got started. I literally took everything I knew and I put it into a box available for you. It's basically a roadmap, start to finish, from the time I get paid, 20 steps back to how did that actually happen, and then the marketing piece as well. All right, I think it would really benefit from that. But in short, there is really no shortcuts, okay? And I don't believe that lending should be something that somebody would look at as a side hustle. Of course, you're looking to make some money on the side, that's great, but understand that there's a skill involved here. And you're gonna have to develop that skill. The better you become at it, the more likely you are to have confident conversations with these referral partners. And when I say referral partners, of course, CPAs, builders, attorneys, but mostly real estate agents, especially in today's space, because there's just not a lot of refinance business going on today where the rates are. We came off 2022 where, you know, interest rates were 2 to 3%. Today we're in 2025, December 2025. Rates are hovering around 6.5%, 7%. That means that if people have their homes locked up for 30 years in a low interest rate, then the majority of the business is gonna have to come from real estate agents, because it's gonna have to be purchases. Unless you did one other thing, which you might not have thought about. When you learn about commercial lending, which is again also available for you via link in the description, then you will understand that those loans are only locked up for 3, 5, or 7 years. And so there is no choice for the owner of the property. They either have to refinance or sell the asset. And I honestly have really learned to love commercial lending simply because it's a lot more flexible. There's no NMLS involved. You could, you know, basically originate nationwide. There's about 6 or 7 states, according to ChatGPT, that do require a license. But for the most part, it's bigger loans, less restrictions. They do open up more often than, you know, loans are not locked up for 30 years. And so it does create other opportunities for you, but it could be something that you ease into. I would say that if you are thinking about becoming a residential loan officer, go ahead and do that. Build the foundation of lending, understand how lending works, understand how to size up borrowers. And then as you progress in your journey, I definitely think that you should consider learning about private money and commercial lending, because that will significantly increase what you can offer and your income for sure. All right. Hopefully this helps you out. I hope that this creates some value for you. If you have questions, I would love to know what they are. So just drop them in the comments. Let me know. If you've enjoyed it, please give this a thumbs up so Google knows that it's relevant and can push us on to more viewers like yourself. Thank you again. Look forward to seeing you on my next video. Take care.